traveling through the areas that I've traveled rural areas, I've traveled through the urban areas, and what I'd like the people to know is that homelessness is a social problem. It deserves and demands a social solution, and what I want people to do is to get involved. You can give money, yes, but that's not getting involved. Get to know these people, break down the barriers, the stereotypes, you know, the story. Part of what I'm doing is providing my story as an example. Back in February of this year, our family had experienced a tragedy. My niece, 22 years old, was killed by a drunk driver, and I started reflecting on my life. And I had been previously homeless in LA and then in Montana, and if it wouldn't have been for the VA, I'm pretty sure my situation would have been way worse than it is. And the VA gave me a lot, and I wanted to pay it forward. I wanted to memorialize her life and do something positive. I had previously worked with the homeless in LA at the Catholic Soup Kitchen downtown Skid Row, and so I started August 3rd of this year, and I left Missoula from the Poverello Center, our local homeless shelter, and am 1,031 miles into the trip right here in Central California, the Bay Area. Coming into Twin Falls, Idaho, I developed some pain in my left foot. I went to the local outpatient clinic for the VA, and they graciously and for free sent me to Boise on a van. I had an x-ray. The doctor said I had developed a marching fracture or a stress fracture, and they told me to take some time off and probably quit the walk. Well, I took some time off, but I didn't quit the walk. I left Twin Falls about 4 days after that and made it to Jackpot, Nevada, and about 2 days out of Jackpot in the rain, I was taking a break, I was putting my shoe back on, and I heard this pop and screamed real loud, and then walked another 13 miles, and then another 2 days beyond that, one of them being a 26-miler, and then walked all the way across Reno and went to the VA clinic there, or hospital, excuse me, and found out that I had fractured my foot on that second day out of Jackpot. And now, today, they took more x-rays, and although I'm not as in much pain, and although there's not enough swelling, they're very concerned because the fractured bone is disintegrating into pieces. And they're extremely concerned that if that continues, the other bones will become jeopardized. And if there's an ulcer, there's just all kinds of problems that could happen. So they issued me a cam boot, kind of to try to mobilize the foot. And they're trying to get me there as safely as possible, and pretty much prevent the foot from getting any worse than it is.
How long were you homeless for?
I'd say it was a process. It wasn't like one day I am living in my apartment building and the next day I am homeless and living in my car. So it was kind of like a process, and it started in 2002, 2003, and it went all the way till 2008. I wasn't allowed to go back to work until 2008. In 2007, I entered the Valor House, which is a facility in Missoula, Montana that is for homeless vets. It's basically apartment buildings, and it was a godsend. And then as I was finishing up my year there, I was offered a job working at Missoula Children's Theater, so returned to work. So I'd say about 6 years homeless of varying degrees. I am in Vallejo, and I'm staying at the Wilson Street homeless encampment. And I was introduced to the men and women that are encamped there, and was going to stay for one night, but I feel very comfortable. They've been in the process of raking and cleaning it all up and getting rid of excess trash, and I feel very comfortable, and they have accepted me, and so the duration of time that I spend here, I'll spend at the Wilson Street encampment. Don't be afraid to stop in and continue to get the services, the great services that they provide. So I have another appointment on Monday, and we're going to check out how well I do in the cam booth. Please go to my website, myonemanmarch.org, and donate $14.60. That's a penny per mile.